Before we look at the events in the Thailand Vloggers universe during April to June 2020, if you missed part 1, where I looked back at January to March, I'll link that video here and in the description, together with a link for my 3 C's review of 2020. That was COVID, collaboration and Chad. As March became April, much of the world was now locked down, but we still didn't really understand the gravity of the situation, mostly expecting that online schooling and working from home 5 days a week would probably last only a few months. Like many others, we found ourselves wondering if the Thailand vacation booked for later in the year would actually happen. I found myself increasingly searching YouTube for boots on the ground footage and information, finding many channels I'd never seen before. With lockdown in effect, and with restaurants closed to in-dining, the new month saw foodie Mark Wiens post a video in support of local Bangkok restaurants and to promote the use of the delivery services such as Grab.
Restaurants have been closed for dining in, but takeaway is still available. Bangkok is a city that is extremely well equipped when it comes to delivery, when it comes to food delivery, when it comes to delivery couriers. Handed me 1 bag. I thought this was it. Then he had like 3 other bags. Tip them well. They deserve it. Oh, wow.
April also saw Joe and Gift leave the chaos of Bangkok to head down to the coastal area of
Pachuap, Currycon. Chuck says I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm sure I'm not. Now it's not very big in there, but we sit outside most of the time anyway. And this goes into the kitchen. The kitchen's a little tight. We did buy the refrigerator as well. Like I said, our space is basically outside space. But it's comfortable. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of our little cottage here. An amazing view to wake up to every morning.
At the same time, over in the Lost Homestay Resort, Simon and Mem were trying to deal with their resort closure and an unknown timeline to reopening. Having enjoyed a successful 6 weeks after opening, this was the last thing they had expected.
And thumbnail says it all. Was this a bad time to set up a new resort business in Thailand? All quiet. When you're actually walking around here, everything feels normal, but it's not. The worldwide illness is growing. People are being advised to stay home and not go out, and we might have to stay longer closed, take no more bookings. We will see. We did have a lot of cancellations at the beginning when this happened. Let's hope we get through this. So, was it a mistake? Well, no. I'm glad we built the resort. I just hope this virus goes away quickly and hope nothing like this ever comes back again.
In Hua Hin, Jonny was sharing with us just how empty the malls were, both Blueport and Market Village, before taking Sebastian, courtesy of Ian, back to the hospital for a checkup.
Imagine what it's costing to close this centre. It's madness. What's happening here? So you can see all the Grab and Food Panda guys, they're waiting for their delivery here. So fingers crossed, yeah, it's just like he's still walking, but he's just like, he's kind of like limping. How you feeling, Sebastian? Good? So just pull in here. Yeah.
April also saw Rob break the news of Kevin Thailand's passing away on the 7th of April. I know Kev divided opinions, and I never knew him other than through his videos, but he was the reason I started watching expats in Thailand on YouTube some years ago, and it was a sad day.
Hey guys, it's with a heavy heart that I have the news to report to you today that Kevin Thailand has passed away. Today at 2:30 a.m. on the 7th of April, Kevin passed away from the long fight. We've got a little montage of him.
people, Kevin Thailand here. Hello people, Kevin Thailand here. Hello people, Kevin Thailand here.
The last words that we spoke when I talked to him on the phone just last week was, speak to you soon. And that's what he always said, speak soon, mate. So Kevin, speak soon.
Back up the coast, Hua Hin was gaining another Thailand vlogger, with LJ Esquire moving down from northern Thailand with girlfriend Tida.
G'day folks, LJ Esquire here in Hua Hin, Thailand. I've just moved down here to live. I've spent the good part of the last 5 years living up in Chiang Mai. I've just scored a room here about 100 metres walk from the beach. As you can see, it's very quiet. Not many people out on this beach. I just really wanted to come down here and focus a lot on my health and my well-being.
Earlier that month, I'd also heard of a new page on Facebook where I might find some new and interesting vloggers. The page was called Thailand Vloggers and it was run by Roy Bart, which he created to help smaller vloggers find their audience. I'm tempted to make a separate video to talk about the channels I found in the past year, so here I'll keep my focus on April when I found them. In the hunger of searching for news and footage on Thailand that month, I found some amazing channels, including 3 great Brits to follow in northern Thailand. The first one was Ali, whose channel is Ali Taylor Expat Life in Chiang Mai. He was making videos about his daily life and experiences, but at that time also giving us an insight into how COVID restrictions were affecting things and the people of the area in particular.
That's a big tick. Yogurt for another few days. As a, I wouldn't say a serious coffee drinker, but as a, I enjoy good coffee, especially espresso. And
thanks for joining me again this week. It's been a pleasure as always to put some small clips together to show you some of the routine things that happen in my life.
Next up was James, of James Abroad, living in a lovely house in Dak. We followed him on adventures to the local market and trying to fix a variety of car, house and garden issues, together with getting news updates. And we were of course introduced to his dog and the now famous Bob.
Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So before we start the main part of the video, I'm going to give a brief update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand.
Come on. My poor garden just needs a bit of rain.
Well, the rain dance didn't work. We got 5 drops and that was it. So I'm going to head off into town.
ราดหน้าเหรอ
ใช่ค่ะ
เอาสักทงหนึ่งพิเศษครับ
เสร็จ
ครับ
เสร็จแล้วยังเสร็จ
โอเค
แล้วปีกบอก
โอเคอันนี้โอเคนะครับ
พิเศษเนาะ
พิเศษครับลูกสาวชอบนะ
The trio was completed by Walkabout Wayne. As the name suggests, Wayne provided the walk and talk style video like you're chatting to a mate, and usually from a peaceful temple grounds. He updated us about events around Chiang Mai and Thailand, but also showed us the streets of Chiang Mai from his trusted Black Beauty bike.
Thailand is on a curfew now. Chiang Mai is very quiet, nothing's really happening. There's not a lot to vlog about really. Let's just all stick together and try and get through this. I would still rather be here than anywhere else, you know. This is the best place to be, man. This is the best place for me. I don't want to go back to the UK really. Why would anyone want to travel at this point anyway? And
the growing force in the community at that time was CB Media, and in May, Chad travelled to Khao San Road to show us just how the pandemic and lockdown had impacted this well-known tourist street, but had also provided the authorities with a chance to carry out some important work there.
Khao San Road, it's essentially a walking street, an entertainment area, nightlife area for the backpacker. 1, 2, 3. Thailand, no COVID. Regardless of no backpackers being here, it's still a fun street. When the 7-Elevens are closed, you know shit's real bad. See, what did I tell you about the backpacker official uniform? Thailand pro tip, you see somebody wearing a pair of these pants, completely avoid them. Despite all the shit talk, I really like Khao San Road.
Thailand was now starting to ease some restrictions, and one of the first locations we started to see videos of was Chatuchak Market. Taya of It's Thai Things was there to show us the new normal.
Today I come to Chatuchak Weekend Market. It's been closed for like 1.5 months. The best spot for you to stand that you're far from each other. I think the new fashion for new normal is like a cap with a face shield like this. I think it's going to be a good selling feature.
Whilst so many of us were wishing we could reach Thailand, Thai language vlogger Danny Mac was heading in the opposite direction, from Thailand back to the UK, returning to a surprised family.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. ถึงแล้วผมไม่ได้กลับอังกฤษ4 ปีแล้วนะครับไม่ได้เจอครอบครัวไม่ได้เจอแม่4 ปีแล้วนะครับอีกเซอร์ไพรส์วันนี้เขาก็คือพ่อ You get the kill on Maori. On Maori. Are you crying?
Back in Thailand and down in Phuket, Thailand Tony showed us just how things were going to work when going to malls and shops with track and trace procedures in force.
They've been open roughly 2 days. I've given it a little bit of time to let the crowds die down because the first day it was just crazy, really hectic, and I didn't really want to do that. So I've allowed a couple of days to go by. Okay, well I can clearly see they're doing temperature checking on people that are going into the store there. People wearing masks, of course. Scanned in, so they are here at Home Pro expecting people to scan, use the app. So you can actually check out at the till when you're leaving the store. Well, that was quite an interesting experience.
And in Bangkok, another new channel for me, Retired, Working for You, saw Chris in one of his first major videos about renting a condo, closely followed by another successful video on the cost of living in Bangkok.
If you're wondering how to find an apartment or condo in the sea of buildings that is Bangkok, Thailand, then today's video is for you. So stick around. My name's Chris, and I'm retired, working for you. This video is all about cost of living in Bangkok. This is a regular. So we're on our way to lunch right now. On the way over, we'll take a grab, and it looks like it'll be 88 baht. A lunch like this for the 3 of us usually comes in at 1,000 baht.
Whilst things globally seem to be improving as case numbers dropped, we also started seeing videos from holiday tubers still stuck in their home countries. Eddie Sweeney had taken to a Wednesday live stream and even had a ticket booked for Thailand later in the year.
In a few days, and the comment section said, Ed, don't listen to them. They're just telling you what you want to hear. Do not listen to them, please. And I had a very worrying few days, and I managed, to rearrange my flight and get out of there. So I do thank some of the people who made comments, reassured me to.
Whilst the Eyes of Owen was sharing a meet-up with the doc in their hometown, even if it didn't quite go to plan.
A new dawn, the breaking of a new dawn. Is it all coming to an end? Let's hope so. Gonna meet the man himself, the old doc. Where are we going in there? Cafe Nero. Whose round is it, mine? Yeah. So it's only takeaway. It's all gone wrong again. It's not even open.
Come on, he said, let's get in town. The coffee shops are out. We goes up with it. All we can get is a bloody carry-out. So we're sitting in the pissing rain on a wet seat all because of him. We should have been at home.
As the tourist industry situation still wasn't improving, back at the Lost Homestay Resort, Simon was explaining just how bad the situation was there without tourists and the impact on the resort.
This is probably one of the hardest videos I've ever had to do. So the resort was a success. It was looking great. Along came this worldwide illness. It was so hard to let the staff go. There was no way we could keep them on. And that was heartbreaking. They become part of the family. Now we're open again, but the Thai people aren't coming. There are no incoming flights to Thailand, no tourists. We have one booking for the next 5 months.
The highlight of June for me was not a video by one of the usual vloggers I watched, but one by Ed of Ed Adventures. And whilst not a Thailand specific vlogger, his first video travel series was in Thailand, and although filmed before the virus, in June he posted a really entertaining video of his time in the Unicorn Cafe in Bangkok.
So we're going to go for lunch now, and the infamous, famous Unicorn Cafe. This is not going to be good for the. This is not going to be good for the diet, guys. Wow. Guys, look at this. Look at this. I know I look cooler.
Yes, he does.
That's for sure. It's a little low in the crotch area, you know? See, it's a little low. Fries, chips.
Cheese.
With unicorn cheese. And my unicorn coffee. Looks perfect. Wow. Guys, people here are loving the uniform. Lot of fun. Probably not the best place to come if you're on a diet.
Given how difficult everything was at that time, it was great to end the month with something to laugh about.
100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers. It just, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I have a thing where I have abnormally large testicles. Bouncing on the motorbike seat for hours at a time, they tend to get a little raw. Every once in a while I gotta stop and just kind of, you know, just let them breathe a little.